Hi everyone, and welcome to another Griniflix Adventure 8 video. Today we're going to be doing close-up work, comparing two lenses using the focus stacking or the automatic focus shift that is available with the Z6. I've got a Nikkor 60mm f2.8 micro lens. Now that's an F-mount lens, and therefore I'll be using the F to Z adapter on the Z6. My subject will be this backdrop as well as a model of a Ducati 900SS 1975 model. And the other lens that I'll be using is an older Nikkor AIS 55mm micro lens f2.8. But on this one, I've got a couple of adapters. I've got a Megadap autofocus adapter, which is a Z to M mount, and then an M to F mount adapter piggybacked onto that Megadap, so that the Nikkor manual focus lens can work with an autofocus adapter. Needless to say, the 60mm here is autofocus, and this manual 55mm lens is only autofocus when using the Megadap. Let's see exactly how function varies, so at least we can understand how the Megadap autofocus adapter, what settings we need to use so that it can produce a similar result to the automatic focus 60mm Nikkor lens F-mount. Let's see how we go, and let's see what's the results we can get. Okay, so this will be my reference shot. I've set up the tripod. I've got my model there. The framing is set up for the 60mm. As far as settings are concerned, I'm using ISO 100 manual focus right now because I want a reference shot. I've got maximum depth of field, so the smallest possible aperture, so that's f/36 right now. And with that exposure, with the correct exposure, so the histogram looks something like that. I've got a 1.6 second exposure. I've got a 2-second delay. I've focused on the tire there. So I've got that in focus. So we'll just take that shot. Okay, do a quick review. Did I get the shot? Yes. This is the reference photograph, so at least we can see what this looks like. I was focusing on the front wheel at f/36. Gives me quite a large depth of field. However, you can start to see it drop off even by the time you get to the back of the tank here. You can see that the focus is starting to drop off and towards the back of the bike, near the tail light and the exhaust pipe. A lot of the details start to get out of focus. So at least we'll be able to see what the focus shift looks like and the focus stacking, I suppose you call it. Anyway, that's the reference photograph. Okay, so we'll take the same shot now, but we've changed it to f/16 and 1/3 of a second exposure. At f/16 it seems to be a better image, so what I might do is might shoot at f/16, and that way we'll be noticing the focus shift. So that will be my starting point with the focus shift. So let's set that up. In the menu settings, I actually have set the focus shift width of 10. So you can go maximum, so that's the gap of the focus shift. If you have it down this end narrow, it means every time it shifts, it only shifts a tiny amount, which means you have to take a lot more photographs to move the focus of a reasonable distance. So just for the example, I'm using maximum width of 10. And as a reference, I'm going to be taking 5 shots. So let's prepare this. So I'll press OK. It's preparing, and then it's going to be doing its bit. You can see that the focus is shifting. Let's go through an example and see how to stack these focus shift photos. I've chosen 4 photographs which I will stack now in Photoshop. So I'm still in Lightroom, and if we have a quick look at these 4 photographs, you can see I'm progressively moving down the bike, focusing at different stages down the bike. So I've got 4 shots from the very tail going all the way to the front of the bike, which then covers the full focus range of the bike. So that was done automatically using focus shift on the Nikon Z6 with 60mm autofocus micro Nikkor lens. Okay, so as a starting point, you need to highlight all 4 photographs, then go photo and then edit in. Not edit in Adobe Photoshop, but open as layers in Photoshop, so that there is a layer created for each one of these photographs in Photoshop. So that will start up Photoshop automatically. And then here down the bottom right hand corner, the layers will start to load. Voila, so we've got all 4 layers there, all 4 photographs as separate layers. We can turn these on and off. So if we look at the first one, that's the front of the bike in focus. Next one is the tank is basically in focus. Next one, the seat is in focus. And the last one, the tail light is in focus. So they're all highlighted. So the next step is you highlight all 4 photographs and then edit, and the first stage is to align all the layers. Even though I used a tripod, as the focus changes, it's possible that things might move. So auto align here and then OK. We'll go through a process of aligning these. And then next step is edit auto blend layers. So we're stacking the images, it's not a panorama, stacking the images, seamless tones and colors to try and blend the images, and content aware fill transparent area. So for some reason there is a blank area, then Adobe machine learning artificial intelligence will fill in the blanks to make it look reasonable. Press OK, and then it starts doing the processing. There you go. And there's created the masks here in each one of those layers. And our end result is this image. And there's a bit of blending going on here around the wheel. You could do further editing in Photoshop or Lightroom, but you can see that everything from the front of the bike now, all that detail paint, even in the cracking here, is in focus. The handlebar, the tank, even a bit of dust on the tank there is coming up. All the detail on the plastic around the engine, the rear wheel, the seat, the tail light, it's all in focus. And then a whole bunch of out of focus area, which then creates some separation between what you want in the image and the background. Wow, I'm impressed. Really quite amazing. And the combination of Lightroom and Photoshop does a great job of putting all these photographs together. So that's an autofocus 60mm. Got the 55mm Nikkor on there right now with a Megadap autofocus adapter, and the F2M adapter here between the Megadap and the lens and the camera body. So with this setup, you have to sort of experiment with the settings. One of the first things you have to do is get the Megadap adapter to actually push out the lens to its maximum amount, so you can actually see the gap there. Maximum possible lens movement is about 6mm with this column moving in and out of the adapter. Then you set your focus point at the nearest point that you want, because then the focus shift will focus towards infinity. What controls how much lens moves is the actual aperture setting you have that communicates with the Megadap. So I'm going to change that. It's a manual aperture, so what I'm doing is I'm telling the Megadap how much I want it to move. I'm setting at f45. Moving into the focus shift menu. I've already got 9 shots lined up, and then I start preparing, and then it actually does the movement. and that's moved probably about 5mm, I would say, for this lens. We had the Megadap do 9 photographs and then all stacked together in Photoshop, and these are the results. You notice that there's a bit of graying out in the black tie here, and that's all done within Photoshop, and that's a bit too sophisticated for me to work out how to adjust that. But what I can do in Lightroom, I can make this a little bit dark, or bring the blacks out a bit and bring that intensity of that black back. But I haven't done any of that. I just wanted to see what the stacking was like, and Photoshop has stacked the image really well, giving me lots of focus along the entire length of the bike. So that was using the Megadap autofocus to step the focus, starting from the front wheel and then stacking the photographs, moving the focus to the point where the tail light was in focus, was the last shot that I took. And then Photoshop put all those photos together to give me this image. And again, it's a great shot. Alright, just realized that I need to set up for a third scenario, and that's using the 55mm lens with the FTZ adapter. So no autofocus here, I'm just going to be using manual focus. So my 2 points are going to be the 99 starting point and 55. So what I'll do is I'll just take about 5 shots there and progressively move around to the 55, which will be my manual focus stacking. So let's get the process started. So that's the first shot. And the last shot will be at 55, 6th shot. Now let's see how we put all those photos together and see what sort of results we get. 5 shots stacked and merged in Photoshop, and this is the end result. The lighting is a little bit different from the previous shot. You can see in the headlight here, because I did change the lighting slightly because I forgot to take the shot, so that's the reason I had to set it up again. The result is good results, all 3. Photoshop does its own thing with regards to stacking the photos, and then depending on how much of an expert you are in Photoshop, you can maybe do some fine-tuning there, but I just used the auto functions that were there. And the conclusion is the Megadap adapter does work well. It does do focus shifting. The lens, it is limited to 6mm, so you just have to work out your subject and the type of lens you're using, whether that 6mm gives you the range of focuses that you need to create that depth of field that you want. Otherwise, doing it manually is probably just as easy as the Megadap autofocus, I would imagine. If you've got an autofocus lens like the 60mm Nikkor AFS, well, that works really well as well. I hope it's been useful. Thumbs up if it has, and if you're new to the channel, I really welcome you to subscribe to the channel as well. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks again for watching this one. Thanks, bye.